Hey guys, welcome back, and in this video we're going to discuss everything we know about the new instant tag system. This is definitely one of the main core mechanics alongside with the Infinity Stone system in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It's also worth noting that this will replace the call-in assist system that we've known for such a long time ever since Marvel vs. Street Fighter. Okay, so a quick disclaimer, I only know what I can see from the single alpha footage gameplay trailer, so keep in mind that I could be wrong or things might change, so I'm doing my best with what I have. So yeah, so the way it works is after landing any non-super attack or combo, you can instantly tag into your other character and continue the combo with that character. So the first off, this is completely freeform. You can do this on the ground during your combo or attack, or you can do this in the air and your character will tag in. In fact, it'll actually be on the ground when they tag in. This is instant. So the screen freezes the instant you do the tag in, and then your opponent is stuck in hit stun, or in your character that you were switching from is still in the middle of their attack that time, and then your character instantly runs in, and then the screen resumes, and then you can continue. And when they run in like really fast during the screen freeze, so it's like instant. And you can also do this multiple times in a single combo. In the gameplay trailer, we see them actually do it twice. We went from Mega Man to Ryu to Mega Man, so it's like twice is the max that I've seen so far. Now, you might be thinking that this is similar to the TAC system in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but in MVC 3 it had its limitations. First off, you could only use it in the air. You couldn't use it in the ground. And when you did in the air, you press any direction plus special, and you couldn't just like do it from an attack or from like a special move, for example. It was like its own command. And then it was a strange like paper rock scissors game where you have to press a direction and S, and then your opponent has to guess it, and they can prevent it, and by the direction you're pressing. Now, the direction you press also had its like different effects as well, where like one direction would give you meter, another direction would like steal meter, for example, and they would like bounce the opponent like up or down or left or whatever direction you pressed. So it was definitely a lot different. I would say that this instant tag system is much more closer to the Street Fighter cross Tekken tag cancel system. Which is kind of strange because it's like, not from a crossover game per se, but it's much closer to the Street Fighter Cross Tekken's tag cancel system. Now, before I mention that any attack that hits non-super, this includes special moves. So, for example, in the trailer you see Ryu doing his donkey kick and then instant tagging Mega Man into a launcher. When he hits the donkey kick, it hits the opponent to the side. That looks like it's going to cause a wall bounce, but then he switches to Mega Man and then he launches right from the tag in. Captain America, you see him with the Morgan and Captain America reveal, you see him actually do his charging star, which absorbs Ryu's attack when he's hitting him, and then he instantly tags into Morgan and continues a combo from there. So what does this mean is that like we can expect possibly Ryu doing a Shoryuken into a tag cancel, for example. What about a projectile? What if you land a projectile like full screen on your opponent and then you tag? Freeform can be very, very difficult to balance because it is freeform. Definitely an ambitious mechanic that they're adding into the game. There's definitely a lot of possibilities. So, also after landing a special, you'll continue to perform your entire special move, even when you lose control of your character during the instant tag. So, for example, in the gameplay trailer, we see Iron Man switching to Captain Marvel, and he's doing this upwards beam attack that moves up and down. He's hitting, but when Captain Marvel is instantly tagged in, you can see that Iron Man is still continuing this attack and hits an additional time, even when you have full control of Captain Marvel. This is a big deal because this will create situations where any special that has a very long active period or does many hits, basically multiple hits, will give your tagged character a ton of time to land basically a slow, powerful attack, for example, or even just drop the combo altogether and mix up your opponent. Like they can really move around where they're getting hit by your character that you switch from's attack if it's really long. This, like, once again, this reminds me of Cross Tekken. So, for example, in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, when you use the character like Martial Law, for example. You had that like rapid punching special that just lasted forever, and then you tagged into your teammate, and even though the tagging was a little bit slower in Cross Tekken, they still had enough time to literally jump over your opponent as they're getting hit, and you can actually do a mix-up or continue like a full charge attack. It was just ridiculous how much hit stun there was during that tagging. So can we expect to see something like this in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Okay, so how is this new instant tag system beneficial to replacing the tag-in assist or call-in assist mechanic? Well, for one, you no longer need to call an assist mid-combo for an OTG, for example. Usually, like, assists, especially combo-wise, for Marvel vs. Capcom, were used to help your character's faults for combos. Like, if you couldn't continue a combo if they were knocked on the ground. So you would use an assist to OTG for you, for example. Landing slow specials or powerful specials. So if you had a really slow, like level 3 super or just a slow super in general, you can use a call and assist, or I keep saying call and assist, and it will give you enough time that they're getting hit by something slow, and then your character can be able to follow up with it. And yeah, just powerful specials in general that take a long time, that have a lot of startup. It makes things that you couldn't otherwise combo by yourself combo. And of course, the popped up in the air after doing a special. Ryu is the perfect example in this trailer where you see him do the donkey kick, and then Mega Man comes in instantly and does his launcher. It's when the character was knocked across the screen, but Mega Man is able to continue it by launching him up in the air. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities. You have complete control of what your character does when he is called in or tagged in this situation. For example, if you want Mega Man to come in with a fireball, like his Charge Buster, you can. If you want Mega Man to come in with a launcher, you can. If you want Mega Man to just come in with a normal attack and continue a ground stream, you can. And you basically get the idea. Like, when you have assists, you have to choose. The game chooses for you what their assists are. You used to choose between 3 different assists for Marvel 2 and 3. It's already predetermined, and you have to figure it out from there. But in total freeform, you get to choose what your character does. You no longer have to choose or feel obligated to choose a character based entirely on their assist, which was definitely the case in previous titles. You felt like you needed Psylocke or Captain Commando to cover a slow mobile character that you played. Or if a character has really bad combos, or characters like slow, for example, you needed assists to help back them up to continue their combos. This was like, there's definitely characters that are used entirely for their assists when they're not really good characters by themselves. There is more freedom on choosing the characters you love to play, rather than just, like I said, obligation to pick them for just their assist alone. And that is what the team that's making this game is trying to like do with this instant take mechanic. So there's a bunch of questions of this that are unanswered because, of course, I only have alpha footage of the gameplay. So for one, can this be done during a throw? If you throw your opponent, can you call in, take an assist and continue the call from there? Can this be done during block? When, like, we only see it when it hits your opponent, but can you be doing it when the opponent blocks your attack? Can you take it? For example, this would be really dangerous because you'd be able to do like a safe DP with Ryu, for example. Sure, you can. They block and you take in to make it safe. It would cause a lot of scary situations. That, like, if you have a really long active move that hits for a lot, let's just say, for example, like Doom Rocks, if he were in this game. The Doom Rocks hit for a long time, and then you take into your character, and the Doom Rocks are still hitting, they're still coming out, and your character's rushing them down. That would definitely cause some problems. Can this be done during whiff? So when the attack doesn't hit or block, when it just comes out. This, of course, would be really scary. So, for example, if Ryu does a fireball full screen, and then right when the fireball is active and going towards your opponent, you instantly take in from there, and then all of a sudden you have this fireball heading towards your opponent, and you rush them down. It's basically free rush down. That would be really scary if that can be done as well. Can this be done for resets? So every time you see the characters tag in, they're continuing the combo. But what if you choose not to call in combo? What if you just let the character run in and then start like triangle jumping on them or throwing them and just going for resets in general? It would be a complete tag fest because if you got the mix-up, then you're able to tag at least 2 more times based on this footage. And then the screen would be flickering blue. Sometimes the audience would be having a seizure. There's so many tag-ins coming in. I'm just trying to think of pro play only, of course, guys. Of course. So they gotta be really careful with this kind of stuff. With that being said, what is the limitation? Does it cost a meter? And what are the consequences if it doesn't? Because we see in the trailer, we see a couple supers into a level 3 with Morgan, for example, which is like 5 levels. So I mean, they did 2 tags and then 5 levels. So does this even cost meter at all? You know, we don't like. There's no UI in the trailer, so I can't tell if they're using meter or not. Right? Maybe it uses a portion of your meter. Maybe it's only limited to 2 times max. We do not know yet. But if it does not cost meter, then this game is going to be a complete tag fest. And Street Fighter Cross Tekken, it did cost meter to do their instant tag version, their tag cancel, and it still felt like the game was a tag fest, especially from their free switching system. I think it's cool to have these tagging columns. I do like this freeform thing, but I think that if it's free costing, it'd be too much. Like people don't like long combos. Super long combos. Like Marvel 3 was overboard long combos, especially now when we're getting to the infinite territory. And if you have like no limitations, freeform tag and stuff, I'm going to guarantee you we're going to see instant kill, full 100% damage combos. Combo wise for Marvel games, especially since Marvel's Capcom 2 is my all-time favorite fighting game, I really like that style of play because in Marvel 2, it wasn't about like, yeah, there were infinites, but the character flips out when they go for so long. The game was more about resets. Usually about 2 resets will kill your opponent. And I like that quick burst, go for a mix-up, go for a reset, or cash in with a super. I like that style. Not like 80 hits where your opponent's just sitting there. You can't do anything but watch your character die. So, yeah, that's just, yeah. What else do we have here? If they truly want to make a system that wasn't possible before in the previous titles, then I would definitely expect some of the combinations that I just asked before. They would definitely have some of these things if they really truly want to replace the assist function. I'm definitely starting to see the potential in this system, and I think it is a good compromise for allowing casual fans to dive in easily to the game without being overwhelmed on choosing assist or figure out their team order, but it's still deep enough for experienced players to not get bored with the combo system and not make the game feel stale. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can talk about with the instant tag system for this game, considering that I only have a single trailer to base this off of. But I think they are heading in the right direction with this. They just gotta be really careful because it's ambitious, but at the same time, freeform, it can always be bad news bears, especially in these games. But crossover titles are usually always broken in some way or the other, and that's part of what makes them fun. So let me know what you guys think of this system, what they should do with it, and are you guys comfortable with this replacing the call-in assist mechanic that we've known for so long. So yeah, till next time guys, take care.